Have you ever wondered why people slowly disappear from your life the moment you start improving yourself? Not after you fail, not when you struggle, but exactly when you begin to rise. You wake up earlier, you work harder, you stop wasting time, you speak less but mean more, and suddenly, the same people who once laughed with you, texted you daily, or claimed to support you go quiet. They don't confront you, they don't explain, they simply ignore you, and that silence feels louder than any insult. This isn't coincidence. This is psychology. This is what really happens when you start improving yourself. At first, the change is subtle. You don't announce your growth. You don't brag. You just move differently. You stop oversharing. You stop chasing attention. You stop needing validation. And that's when the shift begins. Because the old version of you played a role in their life. You were relatable. You were safe. You were on the same level. But improvement changes the balance. It breaks unspoken agreements. Agreements like, we'll stay the same, or we won't make each other uncomfortable. And when you break that contract, people feel threatened, even if they can't explain why. Some people ignore you because your growth exposes their stagnation. When you start improving, you become a walking reminder of what they are not doing. Your discipline highlights their excuses. Your focus highlights their distractions. Your progress highlights their delay. And that creates internal pain. Not because you did something wrong, but because comparison is unavoidable. Instead of facing that discomfort, many choose the easier path. Distance, silence. Ignoring you becomes a way to protect their ego. It's not personal. It's psychological self-defense. Others ignore you because you no longer fit the version of you they control. When you were unsure, they felt important. When you were lost, they felt needed. When you doubted yourself, they felt powerful. But growth removes dependency. You stop asking for permission. You stop seeking approval. You stop needing advice for every step. And when people lose influence, they often lose interest. They didn't love your growth. They loved your dependence. So when that disappears, so do they. Then there are those who bonded with you through shared weeks, late nights, complaints, procrastination, escapism. You were connected by habits that kept both of you stuck. But improvement demands separation. You can't build a disciplined life while carrying undisciplined patterns. And when you step away from those habits, you step away from the people attached to them. They may not hate you. They may even miss you. But staying close would force them to change too. And most people aren't ready for that. Some people ignore you because your improvement disrupts their identity. In their mind, you had a fixed role. The quiet one, the average one, the one who never really tries. When you step outside that role, it confuses them. Humans like predictability. They like knowing where they stand compared to others. Your growth shifts that hierarchy, and rather than adjusting their view of you, they avoid you altogether. It's easier to ignore change than to process it. There's also a deeper, darker reason. Improvement removes your availability. When you start improving yourself, your time becomes limited. Your energy becomes selective. You say no more often. You disappear to work on yourself. And people who benefited from your constant presence feel abandoned. Not because you left them behind intentionally, but because you chose yourself. And to insecure minds, self-prioritization feels like rejection. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Being ignored during self-improvement is a sign that it's working. Growth is not loud at first. It's lonely. It's quiet. It's misunderstood. When you level up, you enter a transitional phase where you no longer belong where you came from, but you haven't yet arrived where you're going. That space feels empty, but it's necessary. Every upgrade requires isolation. Every transformation requires separation. What hurts most is when people who once encouraged you now act distant. But encouragement is easy when it costs nothing. Support is easy when you're not actually changing. Real growth tests relationships. It reveals who was attached to you and who was aligned with you. Attachment fades, alignment stays, and improvement exposes the difference. You start to realize something uncomfortable. Some people were only meant for the old version of you. They weren't built for your future. And that's not betrayal. That's alignment. Not everyone can walk the path you're choosing. Not everyone wants to. And not everyone should. Growth doesn't ask for permission. It demands honesty. And honesty clears the room. So when people ignore you as you improve, don't chase explanations. Don't shrink to be understood. Don't slow down to make others comfortable. Silence is information. Distance is data. Pay attention to who disappears when you stop playing small. Those absences are answers. Because the people who truly belong in your next chapter won't be confused by your growth. They won't feel threatened by your discipline. They won't disappear when you choose better. They will recognize you, even when you no longer recognize your old self. And the real question isn't why they ignore you now. It's who will still see you when you become someone